All right. Good morning, everyone. I just see that that Tiffany joined us, and then another individual whose name we are still waiting for. Today is a little bit of a smaller group than yesterday. I appreciate you all coming and joining us in the quick introduction to D3. Some of our two new features are the driver status page, which is some super enhanced version of the current MBR page legacy, and also the content support that we are going to introduce to you right now. All right, a couple of things before we jump on in. Just want to remind everyone it is critical that by this evening, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that your captain's reports all the way back to February 1st are up to date. What I mean with that is that any in and out times possibly missing from those dates, and please reference the email and or conversation you've had with Jordan, needs to be edited, modified, and completed so that when we are migrating tonight, all of your data, we're doing this with integrity. Sounds good? Tiffany, I'm not sure that we had an opportunity to send. Your show is brand new, so right? We don't have any data, so we don't have to worry about yours at this point.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go log on in. Nothing unusual here. We've all seen the our current login pages. What is going to be new is this view. And before we going to step into the actual driver status page, and Javier is going to walk us through that, we're going to start watching our tutorials. Here on the left-hand side, by clicking on this hamburger, we have our menu items that some of them are familiar with it for you, and we're going to be clicking on tutorial and watching one of these tutorials in just about 25 seconds or so. First, let me point out this little icon up here in the upper right-hand corner. This is our chat button, our new service that allows you to get in contact with one of our operators to help you out with any type of question you have about our site or any of these subject matters. When you click on here, you have 4 different options to choose from, basically our different departments: drug and alcohol, driver qualification, hours of service, and our motor vehicle reports group. And this has been so far very successful, and happy chatting with our operators. And if there's any questions, please let us know via this method, and you can of course always call us at any time. That being said, let's dive on into the first tutorial, the driver status page. Please enjoy.
This tutorial will teach you how to use the driver status page. Upon logging into D3, you're defaulted to the driver status page. Enter your production, also known as division, into the search field and then click select. This page encompasses your division's active drivers and archived entries. Archived entries are drivers that were added to your driver status page but have not been active within the last 30 days. The page contains each driver's last and first name, driver ID, local and alternate key, vehicle weight class, also known as position, as well as first and last name marked on the captain's report. In addition, you can see information regarding the driver's vehicle report, park status, driver qualification, license, and medical status. If you want to filter drivers on the driver status page, you can do so by entering first or last name, driver ID, or union number in the search field. To be able to add a driver, the way to add drivers to the driver status page is by clicking the Add Driver icon. A pop-up window appears that allows you to search for a driver in our system by driver ID or name. If the driver cannot be found, you can click the Add New Driver icon to enter their information. Subsequently, you have to complete the required fields of driver ID, first and last name. After a driver has been entered, select the driver's color indicator bar next to the driver's name displays the compliance status. A green bar represents a compliant driver. A red bar serves as a warning that the driver is not in compliance. Clicking the colored bar shows the compliance status of the driver's MVR, drug test, application, and employment gap history. If you would like to print a copy of your current driver status page, click the print icon here. You can also view the services that MPCS provides for your division by clicking the gear icon here. You're able to sort your drivers on your driver status page by clicking any of the arrows on the headings. To remove a driver from the driver status page, click the checkbox next to the driver's name and then select the delete driver icon. You can then confirm that you wish for the driver to be removed from the driver status page. You are not able to delete a driver from the driver status page if they are on the capture. This concludes the tutorial on the driver status page.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and start and show all of you the driver status page. So clicking on the, we'll minimize that page. Now I just want to remind everyone that if there is any background noise going on in your office, just for the courtesy of others and so they can hear the tutorial right, can you temporarily mute yourself so that there's no disturbance during the go-to meeting? Now, what you can do is you can go ahead and type in the name of the division that you are working on. It will pop up by pressing select. It will start to generate all your drivers. What you will notice is drivers that are active are in a solid black image as well as a solid color. Anybody that looks ghost, if you notice the name down here for this driver, it's a little bit gray. That driver is considered an inactive, well actually an archive entry, which means that that driver is currently not active on your production. Looking at the records here for this production, we have 9 active drivers and 207 archived records. Now, a driver remains active on your page for 30 days after the last day of work. So what that means is, for example, if I'm a driver working on your production and today is my last day working for your show, I will remain active on your MVR page for 30 days. What that means is I can come back to work for you within those 30 days and not have to fill out any paperwork whatsoever. No drug testing, no application is needed, of course, as long as I remain in the same position I was in before. If I'm being upgraded to a regulated position, then of course at that moment a drug test would be required. Now, any driver that is gone for more than 30 days, that driver automatically becomes archived, goes down to the bottom of your page. Next time that driver comes back, driver is considered a rehire, and adding the driver back onto the page will tell you what is needed. So this is probably one of the best new features of this page. I definitely consider it one of the great enhancements, and the reason why it's going to make life a lot easier, not only for the DOT admin, but for the driver as well. And what I mean by that is, for example, let's say a driver is coming into work for you today. All you need to do is type in the name of the driver or the name of the ID in this box here. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a driver as an example. Let's pretend that this is a driver that's going to be working for me today. Before I have this driver fill anything out, I'm going to type in his name. I'm going to select the position that I want to qualify him in. And the boxes here, right away, they're in red. So they're telling me that he has a missing MVR, missing drug test, missing application. Alongside of that, I'm also being informed of the gap information, so it's letting me know what type of employment history this driver needs to provide. Before, you actually had to go to a separate page and look at the gap history. Now you get all that information on one page. And looking at this right here, I know that I need to provide a full application for this driver. Now, let's pretend that in another scenario, I pull the driver up and this guy is showing that he is all green here. So let me see who I can use. It won't let me add the same driver. So, you know what, let's just pretend that all these boxes are green. So if all these boxes were green right now, what that's telling you is that that driver is good. That driver is good to go, no drug testing is needed, no paperwork is needed. So that admin can right away hire that driver without having to worry about anything. Now, the way that works is, I'm going to use Paramount as an example. Let's say you have the driver working on a Paramount show out in Arizona, and the driver is being transferred over to a new show out in New Mexico or out in California. When that driver gets transferred to the new show, he gets added to this page because he has an active application for the .go, which we refer to the DOT company, in this scenario being Paramount. That driver does not have to fill out an application for the new show because that application belongs to the studio. Therefore, the driver can carry that application along to any active division as long as he remains active within 30 days. Does that make sense? All right, perfect.
Indeed.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just go ahead and save this driver for now. And let's pretend that I added this driver in accident and I realized, oh wait, that's not the driver I wanted to add. Another cool feature.
Javier?
Yes?
Does the for the drug test, does that apply to carryovers as well? So if you were to go in there, if there's a valid carryover, would that be green, or is that a separate piece of the
It would be green as well. So
awesome. Okay, thanks.
You wouldn't have to request carryover anymore. You already have a valid one. It's good. Now in this scenario, this driver is $3.99, so he would be through contract services. But because this studio doesn't have a CMA, it's out in New York, it's referring to it as missing. But under your services, let's say you're doing a show in California and it's a $3.99 driver, what you would actually see in this page here, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe it says refer to .go. So, and it's grayed out because it's not necessarily required for this driver, for this studio, and this division.
Does that make sense, Tom?
Yeah, sorry, I have to keep muting myself and unmuting myself. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
Okay, perfect.
So let's say I added this driver by accident. I didn't need to add him to my page. What's really cool now is that you can actually click on that driver and you can delete him from your page, and he is gone within a couple of seconds. Now, before, any time a driver was added by mistake, MPCS would need to be contacted, and it would be us that would have to remove the driver. So as long as that driver doesn't have a captain's report, and as long as the driver doesn't have any services that have already been rendered, he can easily be deleted from the page. Now, there's another feature that you do not see here at the moment. We don't have any applications that are expiring, but there is a bar that appears kind of similar to this blue bar, but the bar is actually yellow. What that yellow bar is indicating is it's letting the client know that the driver is nearing 30 days that he has been active on your page. So what that's saying is that pretty soon that record is going to get archived.
Active on the driver status page, but inactive on a captain's report, meaning they have not been on a captain's report almost close to 30 days.
Correct. So if you have that driver that's going to be returning to work for you soon, looking at that page and looking at his last captain's report, it's going to help you determine as to whether when he does return, he's going to need an application or not. At the same time, the day he does get hired and he comes back, you will be able to look at this page, and if he is archived, then that's going to be the first signal right away that he needs to be added onto the page again. And more than likely, he's only going to need updated documents, not a full application. Now, there is another icon here. We have red and green at the moment. There's an orange icon as well. That icon indicates that there are documents that will be expiring. For example, let's say a medical card, a drug test, a license, or an application. if the document were to be expiring, when you click on that icon, you would see one of these boxes that is orange. And whichever box that is orange, you will also see a date that's letting you know when it's going to expire. So for example, if you had a license that was going to be expiring soon, this would be bold blue. So right away you would know it's in reference to the license. If you had an application that's going to be expiring, you would have this date bold blue, so it would be in reference to that, and the same goes for the drug testing. If the drug test result is actually going to expire, then you would see a bold blue date as well. Now, are there any other questions? Oh, one last feature I forgot to mention, I apologize. You can actually sort any one of these columns by clicking on them. So for example, if you wanted to look at just your regulated drivers, you can go ahead and click on this and it will sort them for you. It'll put them in groups. Here you have your regulated, here you have your non-commercial, your one commercial driver. If you wanted to sort by, let's say, back to last name, click on it. It's in alphabetical order by last name. You wanted to look at drug verified dates, you can sort by that. And let's say you wanted to look at all your drivers that are incomplete, so your drivers that are in red, you can click on that and it would group all your red drivers. Now, that becomes really helpful in a scenario where you have a page that has over 30 drivers. There are some productions that have 50 active drivers, 100 active drivers. Now, in those scenarios, that becomes very useful and very helpful. Here we only have 9, so it's really easy to look at everything at a glance. But that's a very helpful feature when you have a page with a lot of active drivers. So if there is no further questions, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over back to Oliver, and then Oliver is going to show you the next tutorial.
Hey Javier, I noticed that it seems to segregate the inactive drivers from the drivers when you do sorts and stuff. Is that kind of always going to be the case, or will you ever be able to, or is there a way to sort through your inactive drivers as well?
Right now, that is the way we have it set. There's a possibility that in the future we may set a feature on there that will allow you to search through your archive entries only.
Or maybe even to like not, to desegregate them, you know what I mean? So you could look at both your active and non-active drivers and together.
So you mean like
just like,
or do you want them to get mixed in?
Like, either way, like I could see benefit to having them mixed in if you just had to do like a list and it'd be easily alphabetized and sorted in any way you wanted to. I was just curious if that was there yet or if that was something coming.
No, that's definitely something we can add. If it's something you're interested, I'll make a note of it. But I don't have that on a note yet. That's something that's going to be done, but we can always work on future enhancements for this page.
So real quick, you always have access to the driver's compliance box or the compliance area. So if you can see or Terry Adams has a red bar, and if you want to know what it is that is missing specifically, this still pops up even though the driver is archived.
Sure. Now I was just talking in terms of sorting and some of the features that are happening.
One other feature, Tom, that I didn't show you, sorry, that search bar. If you click on this search bar, now you can actually search for a driver. So if I were to type in one of the active drivers, so let's delete that. And, oops, what happened? There we go. And let's say I want to search for just Stewart. So he's an S. Let's pretend I have a lot of active drivers. So I type in Stewart. Right away, it just brings him up to the top.
Right.
So it allows you to search for specific drivers, which makes it really easy. You don't have to search through your entire page. You can literally type in a driver, and it'll bring them right to the top for you, and it makes that the record that you're focused on.
Right. Right. Okay.
Okay, so let's go to that tutorial, and we're going to go ahead and start that now.
Can everybody hear the tutorial?
Yes.
Yes.
This video tutorial will teach you how to use the Captain's Report page. After logging into D3, you are defaulted to the driver status page. Navigate to and click the blue Captain's Report tab. Enter your production, also known as division, into the search field and click Select. drivers to the captain's report, select the Add Driver button. A window appears allowing you to add any driver that is active on your driver status page. You have the option to add all active drivers by clicking the Select All checkbox or individual drivers. Here, you can enter and edit your driver's call and wrap times. After editing, make sure to click the Save button to finalize the changes. If a driver needs a recap, clicking the red bar here will navigate you to the recap page where data can be uploaded to account for the driver's previous 7 days. Please note that a call time is required to see the red recap bar if one is needed. To print a copy of your captain's report, click the print icon here. You can also view the services that NPCS provides for your division by clicking the gear icon here. You can assign off-duty days to individual drivers by clicking the off-duty checkbox, or you can assign off-duty to all drivers by clicking the off-duty day button. The carry forward feature is helpful with multiple drivers returning to a future captain's report. Either check the Select All checkbox or tick individual drivers and click the carry forward button. This will add the selected drivers to the date chosen. The ODT feature, off-duty time on log, allows you to enter the driver's true hours of service out time from his log if it differs from his time card. The wrap time entered represents the out time of the time card. Make sure to enter the vehicle in the unit field. You can also sort your drivers on your captain's report by clicking any of the arrows on the headings. To remove a driver from the captain's report, select the checkbox next to the name and click the Delete Driver icon. You can't delete a driver that has a call and wrap time. This concludes the tutorial on the captain's report page.
Okay, hey guys, it's Jordan here. I'm going to go over the captain's report page with you now, just a little bit. We're almost done. Hang with me. First things first, you guys will not be able to access any captain's reports that are beyond 5 days from today. Access isn't a good word. Edits. You won't be able to edit anything beyond the 5 days from today. So today's being the 20th. You won't be able to edit any call times, wrap times, add or delete drivers from the 14th back. So it's imperative that you guys keep up with your captain's reports daily. If you guys do need to make a fix on something that's been beyond 5 days, shoot us an email, give us a call, use the chat feature, let us know what needs to be updated, and we'll do that for you. You can see this blue link right here highlighting. This is a warning saying the 5-day limit is almost gone. So right now I have something within the last 5 days that isn't complete. So we'll click here, tell you what day. This window will pop up, click there again. We come here, there's a 16th right here. There's call, but no wrap time. So go here to fix it. And now we get navigated to this captain's report page where I see I put a call time in, but I don't have a wrap time for them. So the captain's report for that day is invalid. The only invalid entries are someone with a call time but no wrap, or if we have a 0-0 call and wrap, but the off-duty box isn't checked. So in our old system, you didn't have to necessarily check this off-duty box for the system to recognize it was an off-duty day. This system, you do have to do that. So going forward, make sure you update that if you have an off-duty day. Be clicking that box. And whenever you make a change, click this button here to save it, and we'll be good to go. So now you can see that blue highlighting link went away because we're out of that day range. So here we are back at the 20th. You're going to notice there's not that much, not that many difference from our old system and our new system. There's a few new features, but for the most part, it's going to feel pretty familiar. We have our positions now also on the page. We have the ODT feature, which is going to be really helpful, I think. Can't wait to use that. It's going to be used for, now you can use your captain's reports as a time card and actual hours of service. You don't have to differentiate between the two if a driver gets off before his wrap time. So now I can say if a guy comes in at 6 He's guaranteed for 14 hours, but he only stayed for 12. You can put in what time he actually got out on his log.
So basically what Jordan is referring here to is the wrap time would be the paid till line on our physical logs, for those that are familiar with that method. And the ODT column in the middle between call and wrap is the actual hours of service out time of that driver where he goes off duty.
Correct.
Does that make sense, everyone?
It does?
Yes.
Perfect.
So should be a helpful feature. In the tutorial, you notice that they were talking about this recap bar. If you needed a recap on old reports, the whole entry would be highlighted yellow. Now we just have this one little highlight right here. If you click that link, it'll take you to the recap page, and you can add that driver there.
To note that a call time has to be entered in order for you to see the recap link if required.
Exactly. So say this guy's missed his 19th. He's on here for the 20th. He should have need a recap. What's going on? Must be a log there in the spot then.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty much it for the captain's reports. It's pretty real similar from what we have going on now. The timesheets, you can print your timesheets for your drivers up here. Just simply select the date that you want to see them for. Select what drivers you want to be on that report. Print them out, and there you go. Here's Raphael Banks for Get Down on those few days. Here's what Greg has from the 1st to the 20th, and so on.
And it's reflective the same way as it is currently in our legacy system that we are about to retire.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for cabin reports. Do you guys have any questions?
What's the unit field? Did I miss that?
So that's going to be, if you like to put your vehicle number in there, if you want to use it.
So it's like a free-form field, basically?
It's exactly. It's a free-form field. You can either put your vehicle number in there. You can also use it for if you have several units. You can, first unit, second unit, and so forth for those that have larger features.
Okay.
So here, now we have a recap barcode, and click on it so they can see it. By clicking on this, it'll take you back to the that familiar interface for the recap.
So you see we have Cam Harrigan there, 86 minutes of 2, just throw them in there.
And we're going to work, never mind, strike that.
And you're able to upload that, put the image in, and that'll get rid of the recap bar for you. Right now, it goes away once you put the data in, but don't forget to upload the recap image. And so that's all I got for you. You guys have any more questions? All good?
Well, we're going to email out the link to the recording. We recorded the session so that if you need to reference back to part of the session, you can. Of course, you make use of the chat link. And Monday morning, you get the keys for the kingdom. And don't forget, we have those 2 tutorials always accessible for you to watch, as well as the 2 other upload tutorials as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. It's always lovely to see or hear you. And we're looking forward to your feedback and are excited for you to be working with us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.